Hey everyone, welcome back to Mind-Blowing Motive, the place where your mind gets the fuel to grow, glow, and go beyond limits. Have you ever wondered why only a few people make it to the top while the rest keep dreaming? Why do some people build extraordinary lives while most remain stuck in average? The answer lies in the 1% mindset. This isn't about money, talent, or luck. It's about a way of thinking. A mindset that pushes you to be just 1% better every day. Not overnight success, but slow, consistent, intentional growth. The 1% don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They don't avoid failure. They learn from it. They don't chase comfort. They embrace discomfort. This mindset is rare. That's why it belongs to the 1%. But the good news is, you can build it too. And once you do, you'll stop living on repeat and start creating a life that truly matters. So today we'll explore 15 powerful steps to help you unlock the 1% mindset and build a life most only dream about. Let's dive in. Step 1. Choose growth over comfort. We all love feeling safe. We love our routines, our soft pillows, our phones, and the predictable things in life. It's natural. Human beings are wired to avoid pain and chase comfort. But here's the thing. The life you dream of doesn't live in comfort. It lives just beyond it. And that's where the 1% mindset begins. The 1% mindset means waking up each day and making one hard choice to grow. That means choosing to do the uncomfortable thing even when no one else does. While 99% of people choose the path that feels easiest, that feels most familiar, the 1% lean into the things that feel hard. Not because they love pain, but because they know pain today leads to power tomorrow. Let's be real. Growth hurts. It requires discipline, effort, sacrifice, and time. It means saying no to instant pleasure and yes to delayed success. It means turning down a night out so you can work on your dreams. It means waking up early when your body wants to sleep. It means failing, feeling embarrassed, trying again, and still showing up. Think of someone successful you admire. Maybe it's a world-class athlete, a brilliant entrepreneur, or someone who overcame deep personal struggles. Do you think their journey was easy? Of course not. They faced fear, rejection, pain, and uncertainty. But what made them different wasn't luck. It was the decision to keep growing no matter what. The truth is, comfort can trap you. It tells you, you're okay here, even when your heart is screaming for more. The couch, the comfort food, the same job, the same excuses. They all feel safe, but they steal your future. The 1% mindset refuses to settle. And here's the powerful part. You don't need to make huge leaps overnight. You just need to choose growth a little bit every day. Read one more page. Do one more push-up. Have one hard conversation. Learn one new thing. Over time, these small moments of courage add up to massive transformation. So ask yourself, are you growing or are you just going through the motions? Are you becoming better or just more comfortable? The 1% mindset begins with a choice. One choice repeated daily. Choose growth over comfort. Because comfort might feel good now, but growth is what builds the life you're truly meant to live. Step 2. Show up every day no matter what. You know what separates dreamers from doers? It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's the habit of showing up, especially when it's hard. Most people wait for motivation to strike. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect day, or the perfect plan. But the 1%, they don't wait. They act regardless of how they feel. You don't have to be perfect every day, but you do have to be present. You have to show up, even if you're tired, stressed, unmotivated, or uncertain. Because when you show up again and again, something powerful happens. You start to build momentum. You start to prove to yourself that you're reliable. and that creates confidence. Think about this. When you go to the gym just one time, nothing changes. But go for 60 days straight, your body begins to transform. Write a page every now and then, and you'll never finish the book. But write a little every day, and one day, that book will exist. That's the magic of consistency. That's the secret behind every big dream that ever came true. But here's the part most people miss. It's not just about doing the work. It's about becoming the person who shows up, no matter what. When it's raining, you show up. When you're heartbroken, you show up. When no one believes in you, you show up. That's the 1% mindset. You don't rise by working hard one day. You rise by working hard every day, especially on the days when it's inconvenient. Because those are the days that shape your character. Those are the days that separate the serious from the casual. The 1% are not superheroes. They're not robots. They have bad days too. But they've trained themselves to not let emotions decide their actions. They do the work whether they feel like it or not, because they know that success is a result of what you do repeatedly, not occasionally. So whatever your goal is, whether it's starting a business, getting in shape, learning a skill, or becoming a better version of yourself, commit to showing up daily. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be consistent. Your future self is built by today's actions. And if you want to join the 1%, start by showing up when most people quit. Because the difference between average and unstoppable is this. The 1% don't skip days. Step 3. Delay pleasure for long-term gains. In today's fast world, everything is just one click away. You're hungry, order food. You're bored, scroll social media. You want to feel good, watch Netflix or play games. It's so easy to get pleasure instantly that we've forgotten the value of waiting, working, and earning it. But here's the thing. The 1% mindset plays the long game. These people are not focused on what feels good now. They're focused on what brings real, lasting success later. They know that true happiness, real freedom, and long-term growth only come when you're willing to delay short-term pleasures. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two people. One spends every weekend partying, sleeping in, and binge-watching shows. The other one studies, works out, reads books, and builds a side hustle. At first, it may look like the first person is enjoying life more. But fast forward 5 years, and you'll see the difference. One is still stuck in the same place. The other is living the life most people only dream about. That's the power of delayed gratification. It's not about saying no forever. It's about saying not now so you can say yes to something greater later. The 1% understand that pleasure is best when it's earned. They train their minds to resist temptations. They skip short-term joy to build long-term greatness. Instead of wasting hours on entertainment, they use that time to grow. Instead of spending money on things they don't need, they invest in their future. It's not easy. In fact, it's really hard. Your brain will scream for the dopamine hit. Your friends will tempt you. Your body will want rest. But if you can learn to delay comfort today, you'll create a life of freedom tomorrow. Ask any high achiever. This is their secret. Athletes resist junk food to stay in shape. Writers sit down every day, even when they don't feel like it. Entrepreneurs invest years without a steady income, all for a bigger dream. And eventually, their discipline turns into success. So the next time you feel like quitting your workout, skipping your study, or wasting another evening, pause. Ask yourself, do I want to feel good now, or do I want to win later? Because your answer to that question will define your future. Step 4. Obsess over progress, not perfection. Here's one of the biggest lies people believe. I have to be perfect. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion, and chasing it will destroy your confidence, your creativity, and your growth. The 1% mindset doesn't focus on being perfect. It focuses on getting better, a little bit every single day, while others wait for the perfect time, perfect skill, or perfect plan. The 1% take imperfect action. They know that small progress, done consistently, beats perfect ideas that never get started. Think about learning to play the piano. If you expect to sound amazing on day one, you'll be disappointed. But if you focus on practicing every day, just 10 minutes a day, your fingers will get faster, your ear will improve, and before long, you'll be playing beautiful music. It didn't come from perfection, it came from progress. That's how the 1% live. They track their growth, they celebrate small wins. They're okay with making mistakes as long as they're learning. While others get frustrated and quit when things aren't perfect, the 1% keep going, even when it's messy. You see, perfection is often just fear in disguise. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. But progress? That's bravery. That's action. That's where real change begins. Let's take a real-world example. Think of someone trying to start a YouTube channel. If they wait until their camera is perfect, their editing is perfect, and their speech is perfect, they'll never upload a video. But if they just start, even with flaws, they'll learn, they'll improve, and eventually, they'll grow. The 1% know that you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be committed. Every day, one step forward. Some days you'll sprint, some days you'll crawl. But as long as you're moving, you're winning. So stop trying to get everything right before you start. Don't fear failure. Use it. Don't wait for permission. Create your own path. Perfection may look shiny, but it's a trap. Progress may look slow, but it's the key to everything. Because in the end, the people who win aren't the ones who started perfect. They're the ones who never stopped improving. Step 5. Build habits, not hype. When you hear stories of overnight success, it's easy to believe that it's about big moments or lucky breaks. But the reality is far different. The 1% mindset understands that lasting success isn't about hype, it's about habits. Small, consistent actions repeated daily create the foundation for extraordinary results. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. At first it's tiny, almost invisible. But as it keeps rolling, it grows bigger and bigger until it becomes unstoppable. Habits work the same way. A simple habit like reading 10 pages every day or spending 15 minutes exercising might seem small, but over weeks, months, and years, those habits create massive change. Hype is temporary. Motivation can spike and fade quickly. Habits, however, are powerful because they become automatic. When something is a habit, you do it without thinking, just like brushing your teeth. The 1% focus on creating habits that support their goals rather than chasing quick bursts of motivation or waiting for the right time. This means designing your environment, routines, and mindset so that good habits are easier to do than bad ones. Want to eat healthier? Keep fruits visible and junk food out of reach. Want to write a book? Set a small daily word goal instead of trying to write an entire chapter at once. The key is consistency, not perfection. Some days you might miss your habit, and that's okay. The important thing is getting back on track without guilt or excuses. The 1% don't get discouraged by slip-ups. They focus on progress, not perfection. Another powerful idea is habit stacking, linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, after brushing your teeth, immediately write down 3 things you're grateful for. Small triggers like this make habits easier to maintain. And remember, habits shape your identity. When you say, I'm someone who exercises daily, or I'm a person who keeps learning, your brain starts acting to support that belief. This identity-based approach makes habits stick longer. So don't wait for motivation or dramatic changes. Start building small, positive habits today. Over time, these habits will compound and transform your life in ways hype never could. Step 6. Embrace boredom. In our fast-paced world, boredom feels like an enemy. We fill every free moment with scrolling, streaming, or snacking. But here's a secret the 1% have discovered. Boredom is a powerful tool for growth. When you embrace boredom instead of avoiding it, you give your mind space to think deeply, reflect, and create. Boredom pushes you out of autopilot and forces you to face your true goals and desires. It's in these quiet moments that great ideas are born. Most people try to escape boredom with distractions, but the 1% choose to lean into it. They know that boredom is a sign they are on the edge of learning something new. If you always seek comfort and entertainment, your brain never gets the chance to build focus and resilience. For example, when you force yourself to sit quietly without your phone or TV, you start to notice what really matters. You begin to identify habits, fears, or thoughts that were hiding under the noise. This awareness is the first step toward change. Another way to embrace boredom is to practice doing one thing at a time without rushing. Whether it's reading, meditating, or walking, focus fully on that single activity. This builds your ability to concentrate and resist the constant pull of distractions. Boredom also teaches patience. The 1% know that success doesn't come in flashy bursts, but through steady, sometimes slow progress. Being comfortable with boredom helps you stay steady and consistent, even when results aren't immediate. If you're someone who feels restless or easily distracted, try scheduling boredom breaks. Put away your devices and do nothing for 10-15 minutes a day. Notice how your mind feels and what thoughts come up. Over time, you'll build mental strength and creativity. In short, boredom is not the enemy of success. It's an important part of the process. When you learn to embrace boredom, you develop focus, patience, and self-awareness, the core qualities of the 1% mindset. Step 7. Be coachable. Always a student. One of the most powerful traits of the 1% mindset is being coachable, which means always being open to learning, feedback, and growth. No matter how much you've achieved or how skilled you become, the moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. Think about the people you admire most, whether it's a world-class athlete, a successful entrepreneur, or a great leader. Do you think they reached their level by thinking they already knew everything? No. They got there by being humble enough to listen to others, to take advice, and to learn from mistakes. Being coachable means you put your ego aside. It means you welcome criticism, even when it stings, because you see it as a gift. It means you ask questions like, how can I improve? Or, what am I missing? Instead of why me? Or I'm already good enough. Many people mistake coachability for weakness, but it's actually a sign of incredible strength and confidence. It shows that you believe in your potential so much that you're willing to do whatever it takes to become better. It shows that you understand success is a journey, not a destination. The 1% surround themselves with mentors, coaches, friends, or even books and podcasts that challenge their way of thinking. They don't isolate themselves with yes people. They seek honest feedback and embrace uncomfortable conversations because they know these are the fuel for growth. Even the most successful people need guidance. Michael Jordan had coaches who pushed him. Oprah Winfrey credits mentors who helped shape her. Every champion understands that they don't have all the answers, but they have the courage to find them. Being coachable also means learning from failure. Instead of hiding from mistakes or blaming others, the 1% analyze what went wrong, take responsibility, and adjust their path. This turns every setback into a stepping stone. So the real question is, are you willing to stay teachable? Are you willing to listen more than you speak? Are you ready to change even when it's uncomfortable? If you want to join the 1%, develop a learner's mindset. Become someone who's excited to improve every single day. Because true greatness is not about knowing it all. It's about always wanting to know more. Step 8. Run your own race. In today's world, social media can be a double-edged sword. It connects us, but also compares us. Everywhere you look, someone is showing off their success, their lifestyle, their achievements. It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparing your journey with theirs. But here's a secret the 1% know very well. Your life is not a competition with anyone else. It's your own unique race to run. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you lose sight of what really matters: your growth, your goals, your happiness. Comparison can steal your joy, your confidence, and your focus. You might start feeling like you're falling behind or that you're not good enough. That's a dangerous mindset. Running your own race means focusing on your own path at your own pace. It means recognizing that everyone has different starting points, different struggles, and different timelines. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. Think about runners in a marathon. Each person runs at a pace that suits them. Some sprint ahead, others jog steadily. None of them are worried about the others. Their focus is on finishing strong and improving their own time. The 1% live by the same principle. They don't chase someone else's goals or definitions of success. Instead, they ask themselves, what does success mean to me? And how can I improve compared to who I was yesterday? This mindset frees you from toxic competition and envy. It gives you clarity to say no to distractions, unnecessary comparisons, or the pressure to keep up with the crowd. Instead, you say yes to your priorities and values. When you run your own race, you build peace inside. You build confidence because you're measuring yourself by your own standards, not by someone else's highlight reel. You also develop patience, knowing that great things take time. So next time you find yourself scrolling through social media and feeling down or distracted, pause. Remind yourself, this is not your race. Your race is unique. Your journey is special. Focus on your lane. Celebrate your small wins. Trust your timing. And keep moving forward with confidence. Because the 1% mindset is not about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Step 9. Turn pain into fuel. Pain is one of the most universal experiences in life. Everyone faces struggles, whether it's rejection, failure, loss, heartbreak, or disappointment. But what truly separates the 1% mindset from the rest is how they handle pain. Instead of letting pain stop them, they turn it into fuel, a powerful energy that drives them forward. Life is not a smooth path. It's full of obstacles, challenges, and moments that hurt deeply. The 1% don't pretend pain doesn't exist. They feel it. They acknowledge it. But they refuse to let it define or destroy them. Instead, they use pain as a teacher. Pain forces you to look inside yourself and discover your true strength. It teaches you what you care about most. It shows you what you need to change. And most importantly, it reveals how strong you really are. Think about some of the world's most inspiring people. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women on the planet, endured extreme hardship as a child, poverty, abuse, and discrimination. But she didn't let those painful experiences break her spirit. She used her pain as motivation to build an empire and help millions. Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest basketball player ever, was cut from his high school team. Instead of giving up, he used that rejection as fuel to work harder and become better. His failures became his motivation to become a champion. Pain builds resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks, stronger than before. It builds grit, mental toughness, and character. The 1% mindset is not about avoiding pain. It's about learning how to thrive despite it. When you face pain, instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? How can this make me stronger? This shift in mindset transforms pain from a wall that stops you into a ladder that lifts you higher. The 1% also know pain is temporary. It feels overwhelming in the moment, but it won't last forever. Quitting lasts forever, but pain passes. When you choose to keep going through pain, you're investing in your future success. You don't have to pretend pain is easy. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or frustrated. But you can decide whether to let those feelings keep you stuck or push you forward. Use your pain as fuel for change. Write it down. Talk about it with trusted friends or mentors. Let your pain motivate you to work harder, dream bigger, and live fuller. Every time life hits hard, remind yourself, you have a choice. You can fold or you can rise. The 1% mindset is all about rising again and again, no matter what. Step 10. Say no more than you say yes. Success isn't just about the things you do. It's just as much about the things you choose not to do. One of the most powerful habits of the 1% mindset is knowing when and how to say no. We live in a world full of endless distractions, invitations, and opportunities. There's always something pulling your attention away from your goals. Social media, events, favors, side projects, or even just the temptation to procrastinate. At first, saying yes to everything can feel exciting. You want to help, be included, and explore new things. But every yes comes with a cost. It costs your time, your energy, and your focus. The 1% know that every yes they give to distractions is a no to their dreams. They protect their time and mental energy fiercely because these resources are limited and precious. Saying no is a skill and a mindset. It means setting clear boundaries around your life and your goals. It means understanding what truly matters and letting go of the rest. For example, if your goal is to build a successful career or business, saying no to unnecessary meetings, late-night parties, or endless social media scrolling helps you stay focused. If your goal is health, saying no to junk food, negative people, or bad habits protects your progress. Many people fear saying no because they worry about disappointing others or missing out. But the 1% realize that saying no to some things is saying yes to your most important priorities. It's not selfish, it's essential. When you say no, you create space. Space to focus deeply, to rest, to grow. You reduce stress, overwhelm, and burnout. One practical way to build this habit is to write down your top priorities and values. When an invitation or request comes, ask yourself, does this align with my goals? If not, it's okay to say no. The 1% also practice polite but firm ways to say no, without feeling guilty or apologizing unnecessarily. Saying no clearly and kindly builds respect for your time and boundaries. Remember, your yeses are powerful because they're limited. If you say yes to everything, you give your best effort to nothing. But when you protect your yeses, you bring your full energy and focus to what matters most. Mastering the art of saying no is one of the fastest ways to boost your productivity, peace, and success. So start practicing today. Say no to distractions. Say no to anything that steals your time and energy. Say no so you can say yes to your dreams. Because the 1% mindset isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most, better than anyone else. 11. Discipline over motivation. Most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They think, once I feel inspired, I'll start. But here's what the 1% understand deeply: motivation is temporary. It comes and goes, just like the weather. Some mornings you'll feel fired up, but on others, you won't even want to get out of bed. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. That's where discipline comes in, and that's what sets high achievers apart. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up at the gym on the days you feel lazy. It's working on your goals when no one's watching. It's reading that book, studying for that exam, writing that email even when every part of you wants to rest. The 1% build their routines around habits, not feelings. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They just do it. And over time, that consistency creates real results. Think of a successful athlete. They don't train only when they're motivated. They train because it's part of who they are. Same with great entrepreneurs, authors, leaders. They've mastered the art of showing up daily. Discipline turns small daily actions into long-term success. It's not easy. It's not glamorous, but it's powerful. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, it becomes second nature. You start trusting yourself more. You feel proud of your follow-through. So if you're waiting to feel ready, stop, replace motivation with discipline, and watch how your entire life transforms. Because the truth is, discipline builds champions, not feelings. 12. Protect your energy. Your energy is your most precious resource. You only get so much of it each day, and once it's gone, it's gone. The 1% understand this better than anyone. That's why they fiercely protect their energy. They don't waste it on arguments, distractions, or people who drain their spirit. They've learned that saying yes to everything leads to burnout, while saying no gives them the space to focus. They avoid toxic conversations, limit social media, and step away from gossip. Why? Because those things seem small, but they quietly steal your mental peace. Instead, the 1% choose environments that fuel them. They spend time with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge them to grow. They start their mornings with clarity. Maybe it's meditation, journaling, or reading something positive. They avoid doom scrolling and chaotic news cycles. They understand that every notification, every toxic chat, every negative headline adds mental clutter. So they filter carefully. Even in relationships, they don't entertain people who constantly complain, criticize, or cause stress. It's not because they don't care. It's because they know energy is limited and their dreams deserve the best of it. Think of your energy like your phone battery. If you keep running apps in the background, the battery dies fast. The 1% close those apps. They know what drains them and stay away. That's why they can stay focused for long hours, think clearly, and bounce back from stress quickly. Protecting your energy doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means being intentional, choosing what you consume, who you listen to, and where your attention goes. Because where your energy flows, your life goes. If you truly want to rise higher, cut out the noise, preserve your power, make space for peace. Only then can you operate at your best like the top 1% do every single day. 13. Live with intention. The top 1% don't live life on autopilot. Every action, every decision, every movement is intentional. They don't simply wake up and let the day control them. They design their day to align with their purpose. While most people drift through life reacting to what comes their way, the 1% act with clarity. They ask themselves, why am I doing this? And if the answer doesn't align with their vision, they say no. Living with intention means being awake, mentally and emotionally. It means knowing what matters most and giving it your full presence. It's easy to scroll mindlessly through social media, binge watch shows, or follow someone else's idea of success. But the 1% understand that time is the most precious resource. They don't let it leak away through distractions or meaningless obligations. They take control of their habits and environment. They build routines around what fuels their growth. Intentional living also means having goals that are connected to values. You might want money, fame, or freedom. But why? What will it do for you? What value does it serve in your life? The top 1% don't chase things blindly. They know their why, and it guides everything they do. That clarity makes them immune to trends, peer pressure, and the opinions of others. When you live with intention, Your life becomes simple, but not easy. You learn to make hard decisions, like quitting a job that doesn't align with your values or walking away from relationships that drain your energy. You might disappoint others, but you stay true to yourself. That's not selfish. That's strength. Start small. Begin your day by asking, what matters today? And build your time around that. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for awareness. The 1% mindset doesn't demand superhuman willpower. It demands conscious living. Live like your life depends on it, because it does. 14. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it. One of the biggest lies we're told is to wait for the right time. But the 1% know that waiting is a trap. They don't wait for opportunity, they create it. While others wait to be discovered, chosen, or invited, the elite go out and build their doors. If there's no path, they carve one. If the room is full, they create their own stage. That's how they stay ahead. Opportunities rarely fall into your lap, and even when they do, only those who are prepared recognize them. The 1% are always preparing, always planting seeds, even when there's no immediate reward. They don't just hope, they hustle. They write the book, launch the idea, build the brand, knowing it might take years. But they'd rather be rejected for trying than regret never starting. The truth is, life doesn't owe you anything. You have to earn it. The elite take ownership of that fact. If they want something, they build the skills, gather the tools, and take bold action. They don't wait for permission. They give themselves the green light. Creating opportunity also means creating visibility. The 1% put themselves out there. They network, they share their work, they speak up. They know that hiding is safe, but visible is valuable. It's scary, yes, but so is staying stuck. You don't need luck. You need a bias toward action. So stop waiting for a sign. Be the sign. Build momentum. The world rewards creators, not wishers. If you want more, do more. Opportunity is not a door to be found, it's a wall to be broken. That's what the 1% understand, and that's why they win. 15. Finish what you start. One of the biggest differences between the average person and the top 1% is the ability to finish what they start. Starting is easy. Everyone feels excited in the beginning. A new idea, a fresh goal, a spark of motivation. It all feels great at first, but that excitement fades. Challenges come, distractions appear, and that's where most people quit. But the 1%, they keep going. They don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. They've trained their minds to follow through, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who start the most things. It comes to those who finish them. The top 1% know that results only come after consistency. They don't chase the next shiny thing. They stick with their vision. If they set out to build something, they stay committed even when progress is slow. They know that many people give up right before the breakthrough. So they stay, they push, they finish. Finishing what you start is not just about completing tasks. It's about building trust with yourself. Every time you quit, your mind remembers. And the next time you set a goal, that doubt creeps in. Will I really follow through? But when you start finishing, something shifts. You begin to believe in your own word. You become the kind of person who does what they say they will do. That builds confidence, and confidence builds results. The 1% also understand that excellence takes time. They don't expect success overnight. They know that greatness is built brick by brick. Think about Olympic athletes. Do they give up halfway through training just because it gets hard? No. They show up daily, even on the days they don't feel like it. That discipline to finish is what sets them apart. In our world today, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless content, instant entertainment. Everything is designed to pull you away from deep focus. That's why most people have unfinished books, abandoned dreams, and goals they never completed. But not the 1%. They know the real reward comes when you cross the finish line, not just when you start the race. If you want to join the 1%, you must become a finisher. Start small if you need to. Finish that book, complete that course, end that project. Train your brain to follow through. Every small finish builds your finish muscle, and over time you'll handle bigger and harder challenges because you've already proven to yourself that you can. Finishing also separates dreamers from doers. Anyone can dream big, but few have the stamina to stick it out. The 1% have developed mental toughness. They don't always feel motivated, but they do it anyway. They've learned that real growth happens in the hard middle, not at the exciting start or the happy end. So ask yourself today, what have you started but haven't finished? What would happen if you simply followed through this time? You'd be amazed at who you'd become. The 1% mindset is about showing up, staying consistent, and crossing the finish line again and again until success becomes your new normal. That's the power of the 1% mindset. It's not about being better than others. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's the mindset that separates the few from the many. So now the question is, will you stay average or will you rise? If this message lit a fire inside you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Blowing Motive. Here we help you grow with powerful ideas, simple words, and life-changing lessons. Stay motivated, stay learning, and always stay ahead. See you in the next one, legends.